Cool. I'm pretty happy with this shot, so I'll show you guys how to render it out. We can hit Control M, or you can go to File, Export, and this will add it to the render queue. So in our render queue, our render settings, so there's two different ways we'll render. We'll render full resolution files and we'll render previews. So first I'll render the full resolution file. You guys will need to make this template that I have right here that I've made. So let's go ahead and make a template and edit. So we want it to be a QuickTime. Okay. 4444 XQ. Make sure it's at maximum depth, 16 bits. So that's all pretty important. Another thing to change is make sure it's trillions of colors instead of millions of colors. And this will be our template. So hit OK. We'll name this template what it is, which is ProRes 4x4 XQ 16-bit. Oh, and trillions. The trillions is important. And we can save that as a new template. I've already actually got it saved. So now when you render, you can just save, you can just load that template. Output 2, this is where the file will save to. And this will just go in your review folder. I have Google Drive set up, so I can just export it straight into the review folder and it'll automatically upload. For the file name, please put version 01 and your initials so that we know which version it is, because we will definitely be doing multiple versions, and who did it. So I'll save that and render this. We don't want to send it to Media Encoder because of these high-res settings. These are only available in After Effects, but when we render our previews, that we can send to Media Encoder. So it's going to start to render your whole shot, and it'll show you each frame as it renders. If you want it to render a little bit faster, you can hit caps lock, which will freeze your viewport and it won't update the viewport as it's rendering the frames. I find it just helps render a little bit faster if you don't need to watch it as you go. So we've got the full res version rendered. Now I'll show you how to do the preview. So we're going to use Media Encoder, and I can go ahead and duplicate this render, and I want to send it QNAME, which sends it to, it opens a different software, Media Encoder. And Media Encoder has render options that are not available in After Effects that are ideal for previews. So Media Encoder has launched, and it has loaded the After Effects project that we sent to it. So the preview settings that we want are H.264, which is going to be your standard MP4 file type. Match source high bitrate is great, and we'll save that under VFX Review. Same file structure. Add the version number, add your initials. Oops, caps lock is still on. And MP4 will indicate that it's a preview, but you could also just do _preview, so you can go ahead and render that. Yeah, you just hit the play button right there to render. And it'll take a while to connect to the dynamic link server, which just kind of unites After Effects and Media Encoder. But once it does load your project file, it should render just about as fast as it does in After Effects. Great, and then we've got, you can click on the finished file, and the MP4 is something that your computer will be able to play, but the full resolution MOV, you're not going to be able to open that because it's just too powerful. Well, that plays, I mean, it opened, but it didn't play very smoothly.